Hey guys, as the thumbnail, name, whatever suggests, this video is about adding some security additions to the van. However, I have just started coming to make the video and realised there is bugger all by the way of explanation. It just fires straight into me with a drill in my hand. The security on the van is something I've been needing to upgrade anyway on the van, and after the whole pandemic and the way things went, yeah, it's really kicked them up the arse to do it. So I fit some deadlocks and some peepholes into the doors of the van. The door locks, if you'd have watched the Scotland series, you'd have seen it was very easy to get into my van. So yeah, that's been needed for quite a while, some additional deadlocks into the doors, and that worked out really nicely, how they went into the doors, so you'll see that in a minute. And the peepholes, no, they're not for perving. Basically, I needed to make the van a little bit more stealth. I just didn't want to have to pull the blinds up if something dodgy is going on outside, so 2 peepholes in each door allows me to flip the thing up and just have a little peep as to what's going on outside. And they kind of look a bit like cameras from the outside, so a bit more of a deterrent. Anyway, we'll jump straight into it, and it was a while ago, so you will see my beard get considerably smaller. First thing was the peepholes. Quite a simple job really, especially in my van as everything's nice and flat. All I had to do was drill through the first skin, through the insulation inside the door and back out the other side. Rubber gasket on the external side, and it just wound down until it clamped inside the door. Nice and simple. All was going great until a potassium-based incident occurred. The way I was holding the peephole caused my hand to cramp up into some weird possessed sort of state. After about 10 minutes of flailing round in agony looking like the butler from Scary Movie 2, it finally released, so I got back to work. Put that bit out. Fisheye lenses allow me to see almost 180 degrees without rustling the blinds and giving away the fact that someone's in the van in a stealth situation. Now I'd got one out of the way and luckily no more hand cramps. The rear one went in half the time. I'm going to be fitting some deadlocks to my van. So these are just standard house door deadlocks, but luckily for me my doors are pretty much the same width as a standard front door of a house, so these will fit in quite nicely, to be honest. We're going to go in about there, but yeah, they'll slot in. Cut the hole for the keyholes both sides, put the covers on. In theory it should be quite a simple job. Only thing I've got to watch out for is the mechanism here. There's a bar that runs all the way up, but I've got to make sure that bar clears this, because if it starts to graunch on it, it'll cause me problems in the future. But other than that, and the fact that it's aluminium, I've got to cut and make it quite neat. It shouldn't be too bad. But the way everything's gone lately and seems to be continuing to go, yeah, more security is needed, I think. The van's always needed more security. That got proved in Scotland when Ash broke into it in 10 seconds. So, yeah, I'm going to stick these in. More of a deterrent if anything, but I'm hoping if I get these positioned just right, the pressure on the door off the rubber seal will actually make them quite hard to turn, which will make them hard to pick. So it's added peace of mind when I'm in the van in somewhere I'm not sure about, or if I go to leave the van I can bolt it all up, and yeah, just a bit more peace of mind. First step was to cut the hole in the edge of the door so that I could sit the lock in and gauge where the keyholes need to go. Bit of a tricky job considering the door's aluminium and it's on a big hinge, but as you'll see in a minute, I end up strapping the door down and using my forever handy multi-tool, it buzzed the hole out no problem. I've got as far as I can with this one. Now I need my new ones to just get in and do the corners. Unlike a jigsaw, it didn't send aluminium shavings flying everywhere, didn't snag on the metal and didn't knacker my wrist. By the way, if you're unfamiliar with this tool, wherever you've been, you can get them cordless. This one's just a cheap one from Aldi, and when I say cheap I mean really cheap. And they're fantastic. You get all different size bits, and essentially the head just rotates, and from the rotation it allows you to cut. Yeah, amazing bits of kit. If you're setting off on building a van project, I think this was like 15 quid from Aldi. Amazing bit of kit. Looking inside, there is the bar that looks, to be honest, like it's gonna miss. It's gonna be out of the way. But yeah, that's out of the way. And this is actually, I might try and fix this while I'm in here, because this is what rattles whenever I shut my door, and it just drove me mad ever since I've owned the van. Skin. Right, I've just put one of these in there. It's like a panel clip. You put it on a piece, allows you to screw stuff. What I've done is opened it up, glued that face onto the wall with some PU. Once that goes off, I'll be able to put the bar in there and it'll hold it and stop the rattle and keep it out of the way of the lock. Using a mixture of the step drill and my multi-tool, I managed to make the hole more of a keyhole shape. Oh, the rattle's gone.
Now that the lock and keyholes were fitted into the doors, I just had to cut out the other side for the keep. Now that the side door was done, it was just a case of copy paste for the rear door, but having done it all once, this one went a lot quicker.
This one, for the time being, I think I'm going to leave the exterior one off. One, because I'm a bit worried that crap's going to get inside it really easy because of the backlash, and two, it's kind of like more secure not having it there. The only downside to that really is if I leave it unlocked, I've got to go back in to unlock it, but it's one of them. Yeah, so I might come around to doing it eventually and put it on, but for now I'm not fussed. I've got a few mil this way too much, but as long as I can get the key in, which I can. About at it. Hello. This one will be fun.
I sped this bit up because it's just cutting the keep out again, although it did take a lot longer than the previous one because I was cutting into the frame that I built to replace the tail lift. But essentially I was just cutting a hole, so you don't want to see it. But this was interrupted by Lance losing it over a log being pulled out of the river.
What was it, Lance? I've never seen it this stupid. Oi, enough. It's a log. Dickhead. Come here. Here.
It's probably the first time you've heard Lance bark. He's not much of a barker, but who knew it was a log that would set him off.
You know when you start a job and it just sort of escalates and you wish you never bothered? Just end up dismantling the entire door because the bottom latch isn't locking over. This is the latch. You've missed all the fun. I've ground all this off because this bolt here got stuck, which is now backing out very nicely. Disengaged all this from the lock system, dropped it out, and there's something not quite right. You've got the catch there that releases and the thing should click back, but it's all very... There we go. It's starting to move a little bit more now, and that's because I filled it with WD-40 and then set fire to it. And that's burnt all the crap out. But it's still something not quite right. I'm going to play with it. And it's always nice to repair stuff as opposed to replace. Ages ago, the automatic door lock packed up. You could just hear this really weird graunching noise, and all that had happened inside this little module is a plastic cog had fell off. So that'd have been like 50 quid, but I just took it apart, daubed a bit of glue on it, sealed it all back up. It's worked ever since. So I do like to fix as opposed to replace. Just see the crap falling out of it. Come on, return. Right, so it was this bit here. That was getting stuck, but now it moves again. So click 1, click 2. It just needed cleaning. Right. Have a secure door again. As frustrating as it is when things break, it's kind of therapeutic to figure out what's wrong and just fix it. Very often I'll find myself screaming and shouting at the van, like, oh, why have you broke again? But if anything, especially now, it's just something to do. This door's actually really badly damaged at the bottom. It was back when it was an ambulance. I think one of the paramedics lifted the tail lift up with the door shut and it just crushed the whole bottom of the door. So not only does this catch act closing the door, it also keeps the bottom section of the door together. Yeah, you can see how bulged it is inside here, and then it's flat on the outside, and it's a bit cracked in places. Someone did a really bad filler job and I never fixed it because I never thought I'd be keeping this van. Okay, that's on there. Yes. Got a door again. Bit of a bodge this, because this panel's actually sealed. A lot better finish than my paint though. Love it when things work. Yes. Well, with a lock there, the lock reworking there now, and a big hefty lock in there, don't think anyone's going to get in this door. Let's look at a new van for Emma, and she's bought it. Oh, thank God for that. The drain works. in York, just on the morning dog walk before work, and the job today is mostly electrical with a few faults to fix.